Professor Robert Reich is on the line. He is former Secretary of Labor in the Clinton administration, economist, author of the new book, the new e-book, Beyond Outrage, What Has Gone Wrong with Our Economy and Our Democracy and How to Fix It. Professor Reich, welcome back to the program.
Hello, Tom. How are you?
I'm great, and I hope you are too. I should add, by the way, Robert Reich, REICH.org is the website where people can find more of your information, and I'm presuming they can find this new e-book there?
Yes, indeed. In fact, the e-book is also going to be a paperback out in September.
Okay, great. So the title begs the question, what has gone wrong with our economy and our democracy, and how can we fix it?
Well, basically, much of it is about inequality, Tom. You've talked about this, I've talked about this, but if you look closely, you see that as more and more income and wealth have centralized, have concentrated at the top, the vast middle class and the poor simply don't have enough purchasing power to keep the economy going. That's one big reason why this recovery is so anemic.
Mm-hmm. And, we just did the last hour on this. Mayor Bloomberg wants to ban big gulp drinks. He's trying to do something about obesity. He tried to get a tax on them. The lobbyists got to the legislators. They couldn't do anything. But, you look at the research from Wilkinson and Pickett over in the UK at Equality Trust and a lot of other research, and there seems to be almost a one-to-one association between obesity and poverty. And as poverty is exploding in the United States, or obesity and inequality in societies, I mean, this is not just some smaller academic thing.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, Wilkinson and Pickett show that one of the reasons that inequality leads to so many social problems in the bottom half of the distribution is because people feel that the game is stacked against them. The dice are loaded. They can't possibly get ahead. More and more Americans feel that way, and the net result is not just a kind of giving up, a kind of sense of hopelessness, along with many of the social problems that come from that sense of hopelessness, but it's also bad for our democracy. Because as we can see right now, you've got billions of dollars accumulating in the coffers of SuperPACs that are basically there to entrench the interests and the money of the very rich.
Yeah. So how did we get here?
Well, I mean, we got here because for decades, and I was a cabinet member in the Clinton administration. I did what I could, but frankly, we didn't do enough. And I think that was true of the first term of the Obama administration. I hope there's a second term. Certainly, Reagan and the two Bushes, George W. Bush and his father, did a lot to push us in the direction of widening inequality. But it's not hopeless. I people who say to me, well, inevitably, globalization and technological change, it's just inevitably going to happen. They're wrong. I mean, this country, both in the first decade of the 20th century and also in the 1930s and again in the 1960s, we reversed widening inequality. We've done it before. We can do it again.
Right. And so what are the policies that we should pursue to do that, in your opinion?
Well, number one, we've got to have a truly progressive tax system. We have a tax system now where the wealthiest Americans are paying half the rate of taxes they were paying before 1981. And many of them are paying 15%. Look at
Mitt Romney.
Look at Mitt Romney. I mean, on $21 million, he's paying less than 14%. Why? Because so much of that is treated as capital gains, subject to 15% tax code. Well, that's absurd. I mean, particularly for private equity managers and others who don't even risk their own capital.
Yeah, that's a loophole that was just created for the pirate equity people.
Well, and they have defended it very, very well because all of their money going into politics is a testament to the power of money in politics. I mean, you need a progressive tax system. You need to invest in education and infrastructure. You need to make sure that the Fed and also the fiscal policy that comes out of the White House and Congress generate high employment rather than high unemployment. There's no way we can get wages back, and the middle class can do better if we have so many people unemployed. We've got to expand something called the Earned Income Tax Credit. Tom. I mean, there's no single magic bullet, but we've done it before. We can do this again.
Wouldn't it be, we're talking with Robert Reich. He's got a new ebook out called Beyond, which will soon be a paperback, and I'm sure you can pre-order it, and if not, look around. Can people pre-order this as a paperback?
Oh, yes. Sure.
Okay, great. The title is Beyond Outrage, What Has Gone Wrong with Our Economy and Our Democracy and How to Fix It. And his website, robertreich.org. It seems to me that if you were to take the 70,000-foot view, the very biggest picture possible view of this, that the original sin is money in politics. Do you think I'm wrong on that?
No, that is the original sin. I agreed to become chairman of a group called Common Cause. It's been around for 4 decades. Its primary intent, in fact, its entire purpose, is to reduce the power of money in politics. The Citizens United decision, which, by the way, Scalia and Thomas both were instrumental in, not only in terms of writing it, but they helped with very right-wing groups. They, in effect, plotted that entire strategy. That decision has opened the floodgates, obviously, and we're now seeing the results. We're reaping the whirlwind of all of that. Money does not have to rule politics. We had some very important reforms after Watergate. They lasted for a number of years. We can reform the system again.
Yeah. Although, the founders did not say that the Supreme Court, it's nowhere in the Constitution, that the Supreme Court has the power to strike down laws, or for that matter, to create doctrines like the idea that corporations are people or that money is not property, it's instead speech. The court took that power onto itself in 1803 in a case called Marbury versus Madison. Isn't it, and in fact, Article 3, Section 2 of the Constitution explicitly says that the Supreme Court shall operate under regulations defined by Congress. So Congress could say, tomorrow you have to at least abide by the Judicial Code of Ethics. But isn't it, absent any kind of congressional oversight and absent the Supreme Court going back to, the constitutional basis of power that they have. I mean, we've got this problem. We've got these 9 guys, men and women, just down 3 blocks from where I'm sitting, who are like the kings of America. Don't we, or do you think that we need a constitutional amendment to get around them to say that money is property, not speech, and that corporations are legal fictions, not persons? Yes,
I do. I think that is absolutely necessary, and that amendment could simply say exactly that. Nowhere in the Constitution, nowhere in the First Amendment can it be found, or should it be interpreted, that money is speech and corporations are people. Congress has the power, and the President has the power, with Congress, to limit money in politics and limit corporate spending with regard to political spending and this kind of spending on advertising whose intent is obviously political. Right now, things are completely and totally out of control. But we don't have to only wait to a constitutional amendment, Tom. I mean, if we had a system of public financing that really did match dollar for dollar with public dollars on a checkoff system, every dollar that a candidate for office who is in a general election raised from small donors under, let's say, $200 each, that could even up the playing field. That would make it very, very difficult for the Republicans, and it's mostly Republicans, not entirely, to depend upon such extraordinary wealth to finance their campaigns.
Very, very well said. Professor Robert Reich, his robertreich.org, his new book, Beyond Outrage. Check it out. Thank you, sir, for being with us.
Thank you, Tom.